Welcome back, everybody, to the best live stream on YouTube talking about collected editions, manga, anime, all that fun stuff. Welcome to another installment of Otakubros Live. I am your host this evening, or if you're watching this in the morning, then good morning, or at night, good night. I am your host, Giovanni Menendez, and today we're going to be talking about all the manga that you are probably going to be getting in the first month of 2020. That's right. Manga solicit time for the month of January 2020. There's a lot of stuff coming out, and hopefully you guys want some of them. And if you want some of those manga, you can do so by visiting our sponsor, InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions and manga up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. And if you order $50 or more in your collected editions, you get free shipping. Also, the best, fantastic customer service you can find and wonderful packaging when you visit our sponsor website, InStockTrades.com, for those awesome mangoes. And speaking of mangoes, I've got my good buddy Ryley Ken joining me on the stream. What up?
What's going on, dude?
Getting started, excited. The year's ending, and we're already talking about spending our money in 2020.
I've spent a lot of money in 2019, so I need to, I think, be a little bit more cognizant of how I spend it in 2020, but I know that that's just a farce, and I will spend a lot of money in 2020 as well.
Oh, man. By the way, we have a ticker now, and I like it. I don't know if the chat likes it or the comment section later on, but I dig it. So you can see the banner scrolling at the bottom of the picture right there. That's brand new to the whole StreamYard thing, so that's pretty fun. Yeah.
It looks like we're on CNN or something, and that's the
you just gave me
the news highlight.
Yeah, we could have so much fun on Mondays when everybody's on the stream, I should say, putting up just random facts as people are talking. Oh, I can't wait for that. I'm gonna have a blast with that. So there's that ticker. Let me take that off because we're going to share our screen soon. Before we do, did you read anything or haul anything manga-wise that we can talk about?
I had been catching up on new releases recently. So I'm trying to think exactly what I read. Just new volumes of some stuff like B-Stars and My Hero and other things like that came out in the past month and a half or so. And then I have a few more books that I need to read as far as like current new releases go. And I'm also reading a bunch of the new releases of Western comics from last week. I have just my Marvel stuff from last week, so 27 Marvel issues before I start on this week's new stuff, which there was a lot of big like finales and stuff this week and a couple of big starts as well. So I'm kind of excited to get to this week's new comics. And then I did have a haul, or at least part of a haul, arrive recently today. I started shelving it earlier, and then my wife was like, hey, come downstairs. And I'm like, this is why my library's a mess, because I keep going back downstairs and not coming up. But I've been taking advantage of all of Right Stuff's crazy sales.
Oh, man.
So I got Gleipnir from Kodansha, the 5 volumes of that are out thus far. I also caught up on, I only grabbed 1 volume of it, but I got all the volumes I needed of To Your Eternity. So I'm caught up on that one. I'm really excited for that because I loved A Silent Voice, the creator's other series. I just have not gotten to this one yet, but I've heard really good things, especially since I enjoyed A Silent Voice.
Oh, yeah, you'll like it. It's fun.
One of the recent ones I got also was Witch Hat, so I'm excited to start on that. So I have volumes 1 through 4 of that here. Now I'm making a mess again. And then I also got, I'm just going to pull out 1 volume of it. I got Delicious in Dungeon because I've heard so much good about it.
Nice.
So I'm excited to check that out. I have a bunch of other things that I could start pulling, but from today's stuff, I also got Tropic of the Sea by Satoshi Kon.
Yeah, I need to get that.
And then volume 1 of Nicola Traveling Around the Demon's World, which I made a joke in our chat, but it's a 7 Seas book, and it's like the first 7 Seas book that I've seen that's not just full of boobies and stuff. So that's fun. But it was good. It looked cute. So I thought I'd check it out, see what it's about. And what else did I get today? I got the newest volume of Tokyo Ghoul Re.
Nice.
There's only a couple more volumes of that series left. And then I ordered all of what I needed, but only part of it came in today of Blue Exorcist.
Nice.
So I've got a few more volumes of that are going to be in the mail soon. So a lot of cool stuff. I had an order that they had to split into 2 boxes, so the second box didn't arrive today. And then I did get a box from IST, non-manga. Just a real quick glance. The Omnis for Injustice and the Iron Man, the Mask and the Iron Man Omnis.
Cool.
I also had a bunch of stuff come yesterday, but those books are on the other side of the room, like Why the Last Man and stuff like that. I don't know. I've got a lot of stuff that's been coming in. I should have maybe 2 more packages tomorrow, or 1 more package tomorrow, and I have 1 more 2-box package coming from Right Stuff, because their sales have been insane. So I've basically been using this as an opportunity to catch up on a lot of stuff that's on my list of books to buy, like series that I only have part of, and I've been waiting to basically waiting for a sale like this, or to find them at half price, or on eBay somewhere super cheap, just to get all those things. So yeah, I've been having a lot coming in lately. How about yourself?
I've got 2 things that are manga anime related, and 2 other things that I got as gifts. I did show them off on Monday's Omnibros stream. They were gifts from a good friend of mine. I'm just going to show off the first volumes, and they have a reputation, so don't start judging me. They were gifts, and I'm still going to review them on my channel and talk about them, because I do know there is a reputation with these titles. And I am going to leave the ticker there, so whatever. So a good friend of mine surprised me with a random Christmas gift and gave me his copy of No Game, No Life, Volume 1 manga, coincidentally by... there we go. The favorite booby company, 7 Seas.
So does that one have a lot of boobies in it too?
It's just I don't know. I guess because they look kiddish. A lot of people go into the not safe for work territory and whatnot. I really don't understand, but I do know that there's a lot of people that don't like the series and a lot of people that do love it. I have no idea. I'll check it out and see what all the fuss is about. See if it's worth collecting. And this, which is totally not safe for work, and I cannot show the contents of this book. I've already I started reading the first volume. It is Magical Girl Apocalypse, Volume 1. This thing is hardcore, like extremely violent, and just people exploding, and it's chaotic. Basically, this gothic Lolita type. You think she's a magical girl, but she's actually like a demon or something scary. She arrives at this school and starts killing people left and right. So the main characters have to survive and fight her, and all these crazy things happen. So definitely not safe for work material. And my friend gave them to me in poly bags. So I guess it's appropriate because I cannot show what's inside. Just Google it if you're interested. Just be warned that it's kind of gruesome, the imagery in this book.
So it's what you're talking about is more like violent imagery, more like action-oriented stuff, but is it also not safe for work as far as the like sexual imagery? Like, is there a lot of nudity or nudity in it?
I looked through at least like 3 volumes and I didn't see anything like that.
Okay.
I think it's more like shock value, gruesome horror, more
Uh-huh.
like Gantz level, that type of horror, action scenes, I should say. Sorry,
Okay.
but yeah, I have like 8 volumes here. 8, 7. Uh, this one is volume 2. Here we have the cover for volume 3. What is this? Volume 4. This weird lady. There is one volume I can't show because it's a little bit risque, just in case. I don't want to get demonetized. Magical Girl, Volume 5. This one just cracked me up because it's so silly. This strong arm demon thing, but apparently, like the real thing, small spoilers, is this head right there.
Uh-huh.
It's like a parasite, and it attaches to a different body. I didn't know that. I thought like it was a muscular girl or something, but it's the same head that you see here. They latch on like a Metroid, and it's kind of crazy.
Well, please let me know how it is, because I looked at that book a while ago on when I was at a store. I was at Barnes and Noble, and I kind of glanced at it, but didn't really look anything into it. And it seemed like there was a lot of. Are there a bunch of spin-offs as well?
No idea. I haven't checked.
It seemed like there was a lot of books that were at least titled Magical Girl something.
Yeah.
And I just kind of looked at it and I was like, well, that's interesting looking. But yeah, let me know how it is. Let us all know how it is, because I'm a little intrigued, to say the least.
Yeah, I had no idea it existed. My friend surprised me with this. I'm like, okay, sure, I'm in, because I like more morbid action horror titles, I guess. I'll check it out.
Right.
And the final thing I got, well, I did get a bunch of anime, but I'm not going to bore you guys with it because we got to talk solicits. I did pick up the Blu-ray edition of Millennium Actress. It just came out.
Nice.
I was able to pick it up at Best Buy, of all places, for less money than all the websites combined. It surprised me. I'm like, you don't see that every day. So I picked it up. It was literally the last copy. I love Satoshi Kon. He's one of my all-time favorite directors. And yeah, this was remastered from a 4K transfer. Unfortunately, it's not a 4K. It's just, it was downgraded, I guess, to a Blu-ray. But still, it's been remastered, and it looks stunning. And they just announced Tokyo Godfathers. That's coming out in spring of 2020. So I'm really excited to upgrade all my Kon movies to Blu-ray. And I literally got this a few hours ago. This is season 2 of Golden Kamuy.
Nice.
With the gold foil and all that stuff. I got it from an eBay seller. So yeah, comes with an art book and the Blu-rays and all that stuff. So yeah, Golden Kamuy season 2. Pretty cool.
There's one more book I forgot to mention that I read. And this is one that I actually got in recommendation from you. Mm-hmm. And that was How Heavy Are the Dumbbells You Lift. Nice. So I know you watched the anime and talked about it being fun. So I saw the manga was coming to the US and decided to go ahead and pick it up. And I enjoyed it. And I think it is in similar fashion to Seven Seas. It does have a fair amount of fan service in it. So it's definitely something you want to, be careful of where you are if you're reading it and stuff, and don't be. I like to mention that so people aren't shocked, because that's one of the things that when I'm reading something, I hate to be taken by surprise that there's a ton of fan service in something. If I know that there's a ton of fan service, then it's I'm a less, I'm more okay about it. But I enjoyed, because it to me it's kind of in the same vein as something like Cells at Work or Skullface Bookseller Honda-san, in which it's less driven by a narrative than it is kind of informative of the subject. And there is a little bit of a narrative there, but it's more like they're explaining, at least in this first volume, in the first like 7 chapters or so, it's like explaining different exercises and explaining how to build muscle, and like why the character, after working out, is not losing weight. She's gaining weight, and it's, most people are already aware, but that's the kind of facts that they tell you is like, oh, your muscle is way more than your fat, so you're losing fat, but you're gaining muscle, so you're gaining weight, blah blah blah. So it's really enjoyable. And then I know you know what it's about, but for anyone who watches, basically this girl wants to get more in shape because she becomes a little bit self-conscious with herself, and she and a friend, I think she has a friend that starts helping her to work out and helping her to learn exercises, build her muscle, and get herself more into the shape that she wants to be in. So there's not a ton of story there. Like I said, it's more a delivery mechanism for the information.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy that because it's stuff like this, or like, Skullface Bookseller really does it well for working at a bookstore, and it explains to you like that life and how it works with publishers and stuff like that. Or like Cells at Work does a good job of being very like very Magic School Bus informative about the way your body works. So it's really fun. It was a fun first volume. I do plan on picking up further volumes of it to keep checking it out.
Nice.
So if that's the type of thing that interests you and you're not against the idea of the fan service in there, then definitely go for it. And it's kind of like it references the fan service itself, like in there. I don't know if it does this in the anime, but there's scenes where it'll be like a splash page, and they'll make a comment like, oh, why'd you have to show this diagram in like the most cheesecakey position possible?
Yeah. I looked at it like Food Wars, for example, where it's more like a parody at times, and it's doing it to be comedic in nature. So I didn't take it like, oh, let's be sleazy about it. Sometimes they'll explain like tricep pose and something, and you'll have one of the girls showing off the thing and how to do the exercise, and it's sort of that play. Watch the show, and if you're interested, then go ahead and pick up the manga, because the art in the manga, I really liked it. I thought it was pretty fun. But nice. Yeah, it gets a lot better and funner as the story goes along, because you get more characters and they do more exercises, and the muscle trainer, he is awesome. I love that guy. He's awesome. People are asking for you to show the Why the Last Man omnibus. Let's save that for the end of the show, because we're going to talk about solicits real quick. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Because I know you're going to the movies, right, after this?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want you to miss the start of the movie. So let's get started. I'm going to share my screen. Let me know if you can see everything. How the heck do I? Oh, full screen layout. There we go. Can you see? Nice. You can't see us, right? You only see the right. Manga. All right, cool. Okay, so this is for the first week of January. We have a Daytime Shooting Star Volume 4 from Mika Yamamori. I haven't heard of that. I have no idea what it's about. An Incurable Case of Love from Maki Enjoji. I'm terrible. Volume 2. Dungeon Builder. The Demon King's Labyrinth is a Modern City. I think this is another isekai manga. Volume 1.
Seems like it.
Here's a fan favorite, one of my favorites, Dr. Stone, Volume 9.
I will definitely be getting that, and it's really ramping up into huge action-packed sequences right now. Really, like I feel like the arc it's in is a lot of what it had been leading to.
Yeah. One of my favorite rom-coms from last year, Kaguya-sama Love is War, Volume 12. Anonymous Noise, Volume 18. Haikyuu, Volume 36. I think it's ending this next year. Or it's on the last chapter, story arc.
That's what I had read, was it's going into the last story arc, and I buy it every time it comes out, but I've still only read like the first 7 volumes because I'm horrible like that. If I caught up to it, I'd probably be able to give better estimate of like, oh, last story arc means it'll probably be 5 more volumes worth of material or something like that.
Gotcha. Here's another fan favorite, The Promised Neverland, Volume 13.
Definitely picking that up.
Love that cover. That's one of my favorites, actually.
It seems like this is also leading in towards a big climax right now as well for the series.
Nice. Well, the anime was announced that it's coming back in October, but again, I do recommend getting the manga because it's awesome. I've read a few on the Shonen Jump app, and it looks amazing. Tomo-chan is a girl from Fumita Yanagida, Volume 6. Akashic Records Bastard Magic Instructor from Taro Hitsuji and Aosa Tsunemi. There we go. Volume 8. All right, here's another weird one. My room is a dungeon rest stop. I actually read what this was about, and I kind of want to check it out just because of how silly it is. Basically, this guy's room and bathroom is a portal to another dimension. So the people that are in the other Earth and they're doing dungeon crawling and all that stuff, they come to this bathroom to rest and wash up and then go to the journey that they're going. I don't know. Something about that just seems ridiculous, and it's the type of thing I want to check out and laugh at. Snow White with the Red Hair, Volume 5. Here's another fan favorite, Black Clover, Volume 19.
Definitely be picking that one up.
Ari Fureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest, Zero, Volume 2. That's another isekai, for those of you wondering. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Again, another isekai, Volume 4. Tales of Berseria, Volume 2. The character designs look pretty cool. Bakemonogatari, Volume 2. This is the manga adaptation of the anime, which is based off of a light novel series. Yeah, it's crazy. Cardcaptor Sakura. I think this is the hardcover editions that are coming out. This is Volume 3. And it has a I thought it said glow, but glow card collectible inside. Cool.
I'll be getting that one. I've got the first 2.
Nice. I think this is another isekai, but I love the cover. But actually, magic user reborn in another world as a max level wizard. I don't care for this series, but something about it just looks like a big budget movie poster for some reason. I like it. Grand Blue Dreaming, Volume 9. Another fan favorite.
Awesome.
Demon Slayer, the hit manga from 2019 and now 2020 as well. Volume 10. That's a definite
yes. They're speeding up the publication. What is it, once every month now? I think that they're going to start it? Something like that?
I think they're going to imitate the My Hero Academia thing, because My Hero Academia is extremely close to the Japanese manga release. We're like 1 or 2 volumes away. Yeah,
I know they're doing My Hero every other month now, and I don't remember if Demon Slayer is either going to be once a month or every other month like that one.
This is the second week of January. We've got To Love Ru Volume 14, Persona 5 Volume 1. I assume this is based on the game, right?
I would assume so. I've never played Persona games, though.
Yeah, same here. If I Could Reach You, Volume 3. I don't know who the writer is. Apologies on that one. Splatoon. That's the name?
I don't know.
Nice. Okay, quick break here. I actually want to ask the chat and people in the replay, should I pick up the Splatoon manga? Because it looks something fun and something like that I would read. I don't know. I'm attracted to the bright colors. Help me out here, gang. Should I pick up Splatoon? Should I be reading it? Because it looks pretty fun. Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, Volume 2. This is a comedy series. Yokai Watch, Volume 13. I like the cat. It's a pretty cool cat. Satoko and Nada, Volume 3. This looks pretty cool, too. I guess it's sort of like a slice of life. Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, Volume 6.
We'll be grabbing that one. That's actually been surprisingly good, by the way.
Yeah, you've told me about it. I want to check it out.
I've mentioned every time there's a new volume, like I know a lot of people have read the other Zelda mangas, the ones that are in those legendary editions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And those are okay. Like if you're a fan of Zelda, they're fun. It's pretty cool to see them. But the Twilight Princess one, honestly, is pretty good. The artwork, it's the same creator,
Nice.
Akira Himekawa, but the artwork is just on another level from the previous ones. It goes a lot deeper with the storyline, which is obvious because it's already reached 6 volumes and it's still not done here. Whereas the longest ones in the previous were only 2 volumes. So she has a lot more space to kind of like spread the plot out and actually go into detail. And it feels like these characters are actually characters and not just a kind of, a quick narrative of the game that you've already played.
Cool. Yeah, I really want to check that out. I want to own those volumes. Hitorijime My Hero, Volume 6. Case closed. This is okay. This cover, we got to talk about it. What the hell is going on? Why is there a live action police force in the background? Why is he kicking them? I don't know what's happening. I'm intrigued. I want to check it out. Volume 73. Jesus.
Hey, it's not a 93 like One Piece.
Got a point there. True. Pokemon Sun and Moon, Volume 6. Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches. I think this looks like a hot dog. I might be wrong. Volume 21 and 22. Umaru-chan or Himoto Umaru-chan, Volume 8. Knights of Sidonia, Master Edition, Volume 4.
I'll be grabbing that one. I still am not 100% sure what the hell's going on in this series, but the art's really cool, and I think it looks really nice on the big volumes. So, yeah, I'm still buying it.
Nice. Radiant, Volume 9.
Buying that one as well.
Awesome. Love that armor. That's awesome looking.
This is another one where I think the art is what is the main draw for me over the story. The story's cool. Yeah. It can be fun, but it's really it has such beautiful artwork and really interesting character designs as well.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna move on to the third week. There's a lot of books here. No matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular. Volume 15. Wow. Okay.
I've never heard of that before.
And that's a hard to read font.
Yeah, that green is not doing it any. I feel like that's trying to tease colorblind people.
Oh boy.
No matter I look.
Yeah, no, it's something else. The Saga of Tanya the Evil, Volume 9. The anime adaptation is about to end in a couple weeks as of now. The hero is overpowered, overly cautious. Really funny comedy isekai. I actually really like the anime. I don't know how the manga is, but the show is pretty fun. Nyankees, Volume 5.
This is one I haven't checked out yet, but I've been intrigued to check out just because it looks silly, but also cool. Like it's one of those, it has really good artwork, but seems like it'd be a silly concept.
Mm-hmm. True. Oh, this is a fan favorite of mine. Teasing Master Takagi-san, Volume 7. I love this series. It is so wholesome and funny. The dynamic between the two characters is just utterly charming. I cannot recommend this series enough. If you want a lighthearted, funny read, Takagi-san is a great series. Final Fantasy Lost Stranger, Volume 4. Im or I-M? Im.
I'm going to check this one out. This one, it's basically Imhotep is like resurrected into a boy's, a young, like a teenager's body or something like that by what I read. I'm going to check it out. I like the concept seems okay. I'm interested in like the ancient Egyptian stuff, and then coming off of having read Yu-Gi-Oh! For the first time in its entirety this year, it kind of gives me that vibe, obviously, with the Egyptian stuff. And it's not long either. I think it's like 9 volumes at the most, so it's not a huge commitment either. So I'm actually, I have this in my my Right Stuff wish list right now.
Sorry about that. I'm here.
Cool. Okay. I was like, oh.
Sorry. So this is about Imhotep, right?
Yeah. So I was just saying, I'm definitely picking this one up. It's in my Right Stuff wish list right now. It's not a long series, but what I saw, I think it's about 9 volumes. And It has, I like that vibe, the Egyptian vibe that it has, obviously coming off of reading Yu-Gi-Oh! In its entirety for the first time this year. It looks like a cool idea, good art. So I'm going to be excited to check it out and report back.
Nice. Skullface Bookseller Honda-san, Volume 3.
And this is the one I was mentioning earlier. Really fun. It's a pretty wholesome comedy type series, but it does have some sequences in there that might not be quote unquote wholesome. Like there's people who go in there in the store asking her where they can find like porn manga and stuff like that. So, but usually it's pretty wholesome stuff.
Nice. Zozo Zombie, Volume 6, from Yasunari Nagatoshi.
Never heard of that.
I can't read the font. Jesus.
Is it Blanche?
Blanche? Sure. Looks like a Yuri manga.
Alrighty.
This thing, which I do not have the... Oh. All right, I'm going to zoom with me. Yeah, I can't read that. I apologize. I have no idea what this is. If anybody knows, leave a comment down below. But there's that. Strike the Blood, Golden Days, Volume 14. A Certain Magical Index, Volume 20. 20 volumes. Overlord, the Undead King O, Volume 2. This is a chibi spin-off take on Overlord. The Asterisk War, Volume, I think it says Volume 12. Aogani. Yeah, you guys know me. I'm probably going to check this out. I've been killing slimes 300 years and maxed out my level. Volume 1. It's coming out next year. Also, the anime is coming out too, so I'm going to check both out. High school prodigies have it easy in another world. It's another isekai with a parental advisory, so be on the lookout. Just don't get mad at us if you buy this for the wrong person. This is Volume 6. Murcielago, Volume 13. This is also not safe for work, but I think it's more for the violence, I think. Murcielago. This is it wrong to try and pick up girls in a dungeon on the side? Sword Oratorio, Volume 10. Black Lagoon, Volume 11.
That's one I've been meaning to check out as well. I've heard good things.
I've only seen the show, and it's a blast. I mean, it's more for adults, but it's a fun action ride. Arifureta again, From the Commonplace to World's Strongest, Volume 5. Beastars, my pick for manga of 2019,
Yes.
Volume 4.
I love
I
this
love that
series.
cover.
Volume 3 was so good.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's amazing. Every single volume, I'm in love with
Yeah.
the series more and more. Sorry for My Familiar, Volume 6 from Teka Yaguraba. Children of the Whales, Volume 14 from Abi Umeda. The Way of the House Husband, Volume 2.
Very excited for this one.
A lot of people checked that out. Checked the first volume out last month or October.
It was a couple months ago. Very good. If you haven't checked it out yet, it's a lighthearted, wholesome kind of comedy series about an ex-Yakuza member who is trying to just live a quiet life as a house husband. A lot of comedic kind of fish out of water situations that he gets into. And it slowly kind of gives you little peeks at his former life and stuff like that. Yeah.
You also made a video on it, right? On your channel?
Yes, I made a review of the first volume of this, the hardcover of Levius, and Cats of the Louvre, I think.
You can check that out. Here we have I Am Standing on 1 Million Lives. Volume 5. No idea, but I'm going to take a guess and say it's an isekai. City, Volume 7. This looks very comedic in nature. From Keiichi Arawi. Speaking of, there's Levius, Volume 2.
Nice. If you like action series, if you like fighting series, pick it up. It's got beautiful artwork and really nice fast-paced action.
Nice. No Guns Life, Volume 3.
I still haven't read Volume 2. I actually have it in my bag right now to read.
Magical Girl. Is this related to the... Yeah, it's related to this book I was talking about. Kentaro Sato. Yeah, Magical Girl Sight. Huh. Okay. I'm even... this is creeping me out because they chose characters that are genuinely frightening, from like the Oni dude right here and the guy with the long nose, the Tengu people.
Tengu.
Yeah. This dude or girl with the pig mask, that's already freaking me out. Ah, boy, I want to check this out and see what all the fuss is about.
Now I'm curious how many connected series there are for this franchise. Like, how much of a commitment is this about to be?
This was something I wanted to ask in the chat. The King of Fighters. Is this the first time we're getting a King of Fighters manga? Because I do want to read it because I like playing the games, and I want to know if I can pick it up and enjoy it, or I have to go back and read other stuff. Let me know, guys, if you've read the King of Fighters stuff. This says A New Beginning, Volume 1. Sailor Moon Eternal Edition. This is... Does it say that? It doesn't say the volume. 10? No, 7. Sorry, my bad. 7 right there at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, I have 6 but haven't read that, so that would be 7.
Nice. 7 Deadly Sins. Well,
this is one of those I actually have coming from Right Stuff from their sale.
Ooh, cool. Nurse Hitomi's Monster Infirmary. I do have the first volume. Nelson, shout out to him. He gifted me Volume 1, and I do want to check it out and do a video on it because it's surprisingly wholesome. It's not like fan servicey in the like other monster related manga.
What is it, Monster Musumi or whatever?
Yeah. We were trying to trick Jess to pick it up, but I'm like, no, don't do it. It's TNA all the way.
It might not be bad for Jess, though.
Final Fantasy 1, 2, and 3 Memories of Heroes. I don't know if this is a novelization or a manga adaptation, but it was listed under manga, so I placed the image there.
Nice.
Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. If you're wondering what the hell this is, it's about a boy spirit demon that grants wishes, but I think he got stuck to a toilet in a school, or he's bound. His spirit is bound to that area in a bathroom, and a girl finds him, and she wants to. I can't remember if it's a wish to get super popular or become like the best ever in the world, something like that. It's a comedy series, but the premise is very yikes.
I want it.
The art looks phenomenal. I love the art, but it's so bizarre.
This is like something. This speaks to my level of humor in a way that seems like it's almost too perfect for me, to the point that I'm scared. Because if I buy it and I'm disappointed, then I'm going to be really upset. But I'm probably going to have to pick this up just for, no pun intended, shits and giggles.
Here we have Angels of Death, Volume 9. No idea what that is. Cells at Work, Code Black. Warning, mature cells only. This is Volume 3. Have you read Volume 1?
I haven't read them yet. I have actually on my shelf volumes. I have the entire thing, volumes 1 through 5, and then 1 and 2 of Black. And I have these sticking out because I've only read the first 2 of the main series.
Nice.
So I do need to get on that sometime soon. I enjoyed those first 2 volumes, and Code Black just sounds hilarious because it's basically the same idea of cells at work, but in a unhealthy body of someone who, you know, smokes, drinks, does other drugs and stuff, has a lot of unprotected sex. So it's the cells are dealing with mature content, basically. This looks cute as hell. What is it?
This is a description, but it looks wholesome. I hope it is. This is The Brave Tuber Volume 2, which is the manga about the parody YouTuber guy that uploads videos in another world, like internet, I guess, or something, and they have a website that's like YouTube, so he wants to be a famous brave tuber. And
I thought brave tuber, like a tuber, like a isn't that another name for like a fungus? And so I was like, oh, so. Is that it's a brave mushroom?
That was week 3, and
that was a pretty big week.
Yeah, there's 41 titles.
This one looks a lot smaller, though.
Yeah. Here we have week 4 with Toradora, Volume 9. Yeah, you can deduce what that is. Succubus Hungers Tonight. I promise you, this is not
I'd be willing to bet it's 7 Seas. It has to be published by 7 Seas.
I'll check in a bit, but just like a little heads up for everybody tuning in. This is not an H manga. I don't know. I'll check out in a minute. But yeah, I do think it's 7 Seas. We'll see. Elfen Lied Omnibus Volume 3. This actually is on the
penultimate of the Omnibus.
Yeah. This is actually on the last week of January. It's the sole release, but I grouped it up with the other ones just in case anybody was wondering.
Oh, is it a 5-week month?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It was just that release. I'm like, I'm not gonna do a whole folder for that, so I grouped it with Volume 4. Apossumsy. I don't know. By Tsutomi Nihei, Volume 4. Interesting.
I'm reading this one as well.
You are?
Yeah, so this one, it's much like other Nihei series. It's mostly I'm reading his stuff because I love the artwork. The stories are always a little bit less than typical. It's a little bit harder to follow and stuff. But it's enjoyable when I'm reading. It has fun action, really interesting character designs, and that's usually what I'm enjoying about his books is how fun, or not fun, but how interesting his artwork is.
It reminds me of Last Exile, especially the dude with the blue hair. Interesting. Living room from I think it's volume 1 because there's a little arrow here. Volume 1. I totally forgot what this is. This is no volume 7, if that's even the title, but it's a volume 7. This is a certain scientific accelerator, volume 10. This is part of the Index and Railgun universe. My Monster Secret, volume 19. Yokai Girls, volume 9. That is it for January. A lot of titles that are coming in. Manga titles I purposely left out. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I didn't count, but I feel like there's less that I'm buying this month than there in January than there has been for December. I think, which is a good thing, since I kind of need a month of recovery. But I'm probably not going to use that as a month of recovery and use it as a month to buy other titles that I want to catch up on or something.
I'd let Mon mention going to show them because the covers, one of them's okay, but you know the character's kind of drunk with a lot of cleavage. I don't want to show that. It's Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs, Volume 8. That's coming out January 28th. And the other one was The Dungeon of Black Company. It doesn't show anything that would get us in trouble, but it's very suggestive. And I'm like, no, I don't want to risk it with YouTube. But if you want to check them out, you can find them online, and you can see the covers that I'm talking about, Volume 4 and Volume 8 for the other one. Yeah, they're interesting, I guess.
Is Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs, is that one that had the see-through panel or whatever recently, where it looked like, if you look at the page on the other side, it looked like the girl was naked?
Yep. I think that's it. I watched the anime adaptation, and it's well drawn, but I didn't care for it too much.
Yeah.
I do know that there was a scene with a butt hanging out from a panel in the house because one of the characters is a ghost. It's etchy, silly comedy. I don't really recommend it. So that is it. I just want to highlight before we leave a couple of comments, questions.
And then let me grab why.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We were talking about why earlier. Where's Jess? This is his favorite segment now. He is preparing because he got Berserk, and I want him on this show to talk about Berserk. So I'm very much looking forward to that conversation. It's going to be pretty interesting. Let's see. There's a Splatoon manga. Sure, why not? Yeah. I want to check it out. It looks pretty fun. Cute, wholesome, and just then Demon Slayer and My Hero Academia anime really well. Yeah, they're really well done. Here's a question for you. How's the quality on those card captors?
Let me grab one real quick.
Yeah. Go get that. Oh, Hayden on that capsule core cap. I agree. It is amazing. Looks awesome.
I found it at Target one day a couple weeks ago. Here's this is volume 1 of the hardcover. They're pretty thin. I'd say thinner than other Kodansha hardcovers that they've been doing. Not quite as thick as like Battle Angel or Ghost in the Shell. Page count. Let's see if there's a page number somewhere in here. I don't know if it might be a straight 1-for-1 volume thing. Like it's not like 2 in 1. It's not 1.5 in 1. It might just be a single volume per hardcover.
Yeah.
So for how big they are, It's a $30 book, so it is pretty pricey. The paper is a little bit thin, but the artwork looks pretty fantastic. I really love Kodansha's production on these large hardcover mangas. I'm trying to find a good page to show.
Yeah.
So pretty nice looking, and then they do come with each volume comes with a card. I don't know if it's meant to. It looks like with those old '90s X-Men and like Marvel cards where you'd have the ones that connect, the image connects and stuff. It looks like they might be doing that. So there might be like 9 volumes. There's going to be 9 cards, and each of them connect, so you get one big image. So I haven't been disappointed myself by the build of them, but I haven't. I also haven't read. I don't know why I'm speaking up. I have the microphone. I also haven't read them yet, so I can't speak on the quality of the book. I just remember liking the anime when I was younger.
Yeah. Thank you, Cleveland. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll read it because I want, aside from the games, because I like playing fighting games. I want there to be material for me to read that's good, especially with Street Fighter and King of Fighters and Darkstalkers, because I love fighting games. I'm terrible at them, but I love them regardless. And I kind of do want to check from the games because you light and you could fighting games in manga. I'm still so behind on buying and reading a lot of manga. Like, I still haven't read Death Note after the second Black edition. I'm planning on binge reading a lot in 2020. Otakubros helps plan reads. Yeah.
Nice. I'm glad we can help with that. This year, early in the year, I read a lot. Like, I think I read within the first few months, like 300-400 volumes of manga just in that time. And it was like, once I started making goals for myself, I was keeping checklists and I was like keeping lists where I would cross things off. And that's really what started pushing me to read more. And I feel like I was stretching my I don't want to say like stretching my brain, but like I'll just say, to be funny about it, like my reading muscle. And so I was working on my reading muscle by starting by reading single volume series. And I'd read like All You Need Is Kill, for instance, was one of the first things I read. And then I'd move on to like 2-volume series, like Speed Racer. And then as I'd read more and more, I was able to focus myself further to read longer titles. And then I got to where I was reading, I read 20-volume series Tagami Bachi, and I read 21 volumes with Assassination Classroom. And I think the biggest series I read was actually Yu-Gi-Oh! In its entirety. Sometime over like the summer. And that one, it took me a little bit longer to read, but I read that. Oh, and I also read JoJo parts 6, 7, and got caught up with 8. And doing that, like just kind of exercising my reading muscle, so to say, helped me to be able to stay more focused and get through those things. So if I can provide any help in it would be that in just like kind of allowing yourself almost a schedule and pacing yourself in a way so that you can focus better. Because I know that it can be hard and daunting if I was to just look at a series and be like, oh, I've got, for instance, I have 7 Deadly Sins. Like I said, I have a package with most of that series coming in the mail, and I have about half of it on the shelf right now. So that's like a 30-something volume series so far. That's pretty daunting. But if I start out and I'm like, okay, well, let me work my way up, and I'm going to read, I've got 5 volumes of Gleipnir. And then after that, I've got 7 volumes of Delicious in Dungeon. And then I've got, something that's 10 volumes long that I can read. And then when I work my way up, eventually something like 7 Deadly Sins doesn't seem as daunting.
Yeah. Words of wisdom right there, folks.
Should I show that Why the Last Man?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I got it in yesterday.
Little bit crossover. This is the crossover segment with regular Omnibros.
Yeah. So it's a thick boy, really, really big. I'll compare it to a paperback, just like a
Wow,
6-issue paperback, pretty thick. Front cover, back cover. I'll take off the dust jacket. Back cover, spine,
nice.
Front cover, and then I have no disconnect on my spine at all. And you can hear a little bit of a crack there, but oops, there's not any structural issue that I've seen. It opens nice and wide.
Cool.
So it's a large mofo. It's thick as hell.
But worth it.
Yeah, in my opinion, I love this series, and I upgraded. I know some people will think of it as a downgrade from my deluxe editions into the all-in-one, because for me, it saves a lot of space. I think this is going to be about half the space on the shelf as the 5 deluxe editions is. So that's a big reason why I decided to get this instead. It is expensive. I think it was $150 cover price book. So I got, for 70 something on IST on the first day, like $70, I think. So for me, that price is worth it for this series, because I do absolutely love the title. I love it, and I was really pleased when I got it with how the binding is on it, because that's what a lot of people were worried about, was that the binding was going to wind up being really poor since it's such a thick book, and it is a DC book also. But for those of you all who are curious about it, I don't think that you should fear it. It's a good one. Paper quality. Let's see. It's thicker than what Marvel uses for sure. It's not the newspaper or newsprint type paper. It's semi-glossy paper. So it's not the typical Vertigo paper that they would use on like the paperbacks and stuff. As far as extra material, there's this much. So there's barely anything. It's just 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pages of sketches, and that's it. So there's not a lot of bonus material at all. They definitely went slim on that stuff, unless there's stuff scattered throughout, but I doubt it. So yeah, it's very slim as far as bonus material goes, but for me, that's okay. Like that's not what I signed up for. It's nice if it has it, but if it doesn't, then I'm not gonna riot about it, basically.
We got 3 more comments here that I want to highlight because we're about to wrap up, guys. Hayden says that's actually really great advice about the manga reading.
You're welcome.
Billy, he's here in the chat. Hey, Ryley, have you started Delicious in Dungeon yet?
No, I just got, well, actually, I got the first 4 in the mail last week, and I got the next 3 yesterday, so I have not started it yet. I don't know if I want to start that or something else first, but I do have a lot of new volumes that I need to get through still after, because I have the newest volumes of Urusei Yatsura, No Guns Life, and one other, and Golden Kamui I need to read. And then after that, I have the that Nicola in the Underworld, the newest Eternal Edition of Sailor Moon, and a couple of other newer releases I still need to read. Drifting Classroom, which I have behind me, the new Ito book, the No Longer Human, and then I completely forgot, I got the first Kaiji paperback So I need to read that as well. I try to read new releases before I read like older series that have a bunch of volumes.
Nice. This one's for you, sir. I'm currently reading JoJo. I read part 1 and 2, and now on the second volume of part 3. I like part 1, not so much part 2. Part 3 is good so far. Wondering how is the rest?
I think it's kind of surprising that you liked 1 more than 2, because usually most people 2 is where it starts getting going for them. 3 is fantastic, but it is. I'm a little hesitant because if you didn't like 2 because it's only like fights, 3 is it's a lot of fights. Like it's kind of villain of the week type thing where they jump around from thing to thing, just fighting. But it might be more intriguing because you do get the stands in there, and it allows for a much more complex and interesting fight in each one of those encounters, compared to where they're just using Hamon instead. The series progresses from there, I think, really well, to the point that it kind of gets hard for me to decide definitively whether I like, part 3 more or part 4 more or part 5 more. But if you enjoy part 3, if you finish part 3 and you enjoy it and you like the stands and you like the creativity there, then definitely keep going because you get more of it in each following part. In English, they've only released a few volumes of part 4 so far. So I'd recommend checking the anime out if you want to keep going. And then if you absolutely need to keep going after that, you can do like I did myself and read the scans online. There are a lot of good places to find scans of parts 6, 7, and then everything that's out from 8. And part 7 is honestly might be my favorite part, hands down, of the entire series.
Speaking of, I forgot to show this off.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Now I'm in your previous shoes where I'm now going to be waiting on a nice discount for that before I buy it.
Yeah, I mean, the only discount I got was with that coupon you gave me.
Nice.
I think it was that for Thanksgiving or something like that. I don't know. Let's see. 2 more questions. Did you get the Batman black and white Omni?
No. Is it only on Amazon or something?
No idea. I didn't even know what the.
Because I've seen people showing it on the group, and I hadn't seen it on online anywhere. I mean, by that I mean I haven't seen it on in stock trades. So no, I haven't bought it off of Amazon. If someone can tell me, is it supposed to be available elsewhere, or is it only available on Amazon or something? The only Star Wars manga that I really know is that, was it Lost Stars or whatever?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Batman black and white omnibus. It's on sale over at Amazon. I assume
but is it
it's
meant to come out elsewhere?
No idea. Let me yes, they're only so far. Interesting.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't like that. I probably won't get it unless it shows up on IST because the price point is going to be a little too much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it says on previews it's going to be available, the Omnibus, January 22nd, 2020, at comic book stores and retailers like In Stock Trades.
Okay, then yeah, I will be waiting until it comes out on there.
So that is what we call a timed exclusive, like the video games.
really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Is JoJo out of print? Any of the hardcovers?
I couldn't say. If
I'm pretty
Gabe
sure.
were here, he could tell us.
Yeah. I think that's a title that's going to be not 100% evergreen, but it's something that Viz will want to keep in print. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Yeah, no, I would agree.
And the last comment, because I'm sorry, my name's on it, so I got to address it. Sorry, just tune in. Larry, don't worry about it, man. Wanted to thank Gio for Demon Slayer Volume 5 arrives tomorrow. So far, very enjoyable. It keeps getting better and better as you go along, and I love it. I love the series. I know it gets hate from some people, but I love Demon Slayer, the manga, and the anime. So, good job, Larry, for picking those up. Guys, if you enjoyed this episode, give us a like, comment down below what you're getting in January. Of course, visit our sponsor website, and let me do the little thingy because it's the brand new toy at this channel. Visit our sponsor website for all your manga needs, instocktrades.com. You can get collected editions and manga, like we were talking about, up to 50% off, depending on the week of release. Loyalty discounts tack on an extra 2% to that. And if your orders is $50 or more, you get free shipping. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging that you can only get when you visit our website, sponsor website, instocktrades.com. So, we're out of here. Ryley, my man, or I should say, what was your nickname? I forgot.
Rilo Ken.
Rilo Ken, where can they find you on the internet? Thank you for joining me tonight.
Instead of Kylo Ren, that's my pun. You can find me on here pretty much every Thursday, and then on my channel, it's my name Ryley Mo, RYLEYMO, and then my Instagram Ryley Mo, RYLEYM0. Also on Facebook groups, the Omnibus Collectors Comic Swapping Community and Otaku's Farm, for nice community of like-minded collectors.
Yeah, awesome. You can find me at A Week in Geekdom here on YouTube, where I do videos, reviews on manga, anime, all that fun stuff. Subscribe if you can. A Week in Geekdom. So, thank you to the chat. Thank you for everybody tuning in and watching later on in the replay. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the little notification bell so you know when new videos come up, although they're usually Sundays, Mondays, and Thursdays. But still, it will help us out a ton. As always, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on our next broadcast.